Dangerous when people stop seeing consequences because everything becomes content. Somewhere along the line, the internet stopped rewarding talent and started rewarding chaos. And now we got creators risking it all for risking their careers, their freedom, their lives, other people's lives, all for live stream clips. Take, for instance, this Chud the Builder situation. This ain't just internet drama no more, man. It's what happens when outrage becomes entertainment and racism becomes profitable. Where do we start? What's going on? What's going on? It's Trinidad and Tobago, son. New York City's nephew, YOUNG. This is Banter and Bullshit. The show where we're sitting down having conversations about real topics, real things that we do go through at the end of the day, and also cutting through the bullshit of social media, drama, the lies, all of that madness. Because sometimes there's a lot of bullshit out there that we gotta cut through. Today we're talking about Chud the Builder. Look, man, you can't go anywhere right now on your social media platforms, on anything without seeing this dude. This dude is everywhere. Apparently, he's big. You know, he's big for the streaming culture, for his rage baiting, for the racial tension, for everything that he does. If you don't know who he is, he walks around Tennessee antagonizing black folks, calling them niggas, doing his very best to agitate a situation to get us to react in a way that is going to benefit him. Because at the end of the day, the rage baiting is what works. The racism is what works. He's big on confrontational content. He's big on racial shock. He's big on humor for some, for trolling, for public harassment. And he's not even the main point. That's the crazy part. Bro's not even the main point. He's not. Because the conversation is bigger than just one creator, right? He's just another example of what the internet culture is becoming, what it's evolved into. Because eventually you got to stop performing and the chaos starts becoming it, right? You know, Chud is a guy who woke up one day and said, how can I engage and get as much content as possible? How can I make myself viral? How can I become important? How can I become seen? And honestly, let's be real. The internet has created a world where the loudest, most disrespectful, most outrageous person in the room gets rewarded first. Doesn't matter if you have wisdom. Doesn't matter if you have creativity. Doesn't matter if you even have talent. Chaos. Chaos is what sells. If sex sells, chaos sells equally as well. Chaos and sex are hand in hand. They do great together. That's what gets clicks now. Humiliation gets engagement at the end of the day. Conflict gets views. Outrage gets shared. The algorithm just chews on it. The algorithm just eats it up, man. The algorithm loves it. It's crazy because we're trying to figure out how do you separate it, right? How do you separate it? Because most of these people are characters, right? I'd like to think. I'd like to think that most of it's only entertainment. You know, this show Banter'N'Bullsh is entertainment, right? It's for entertainment value. Myself and my key, we don't do anything outlandish or disrespectful. We are who we are, and we are ourselves. We're not out here selling anything too crazy. You know, it was just two veterans who sat down and said, yo, let's do a podcast and talk about, you know, current events and just share our opinion. And even for that, we get attacked for our opinion, more so myself. I get attacked for my opinion a lot more than MIK does because I'm a little bit more outspoken, a little bit more, you know, vociferous with mine. But it is what it is. I'm not knocking it. You know, everybody has a right to an opinion. But I think we need to remember that there are consequences to your opinions. You know, the thing is, as I was saying with the algorithm, it eats it all up. It pushes this out there, you know, this content. It doesn't reward the peaceful or the insightful. It rewards the intensity. It rewards the stuff that garnishes the best type of response, and people eat it up. We've become desensitized to it. I think um, we don't even, as people, are worried by it. We don't even see how far it's gone. We don't, because we're so used to consuming this chaos every single day that every stream has to be bigger than the last one. Every moment has to go viral. Everything has to be bigger. And creators themselves, I feel like they feel the pressure. Like, yo, we have to be able to do these things to escalate, to consistently be viewed, to consistently be relevant. So it's no longer viable content. It's just moments, snapshots that have to go viral, incidents that have to go viral. So real life stops feeling real in a way because it's not real. It's just performative. You're not doing it because this is who you are. You're doing it because you think this is who you should be to get the attention, to get the reels, to get the plays, to get the pushes, to get the content out there. It's not you anymore. You know, just what it is. For right, we say, what do we say? I say it all the time, right? Well, I say it now. It's only entertainment. It's just jokes. It's just content. Because on my side, it is, right? I usually, what you see on camera and what you hear is, I am who I am, right? Cardi Young is Cardi Young. I am who I am. My opinions are my opinions. My views are my views. I'm not out here doing anything outlandish. I'm not being overtly disrespectful. I'm just speaking my mind and speaking my thoughts and giving you my opinion. Some of these content creators are like this individual, Chud the Builder. I don't want to get a guy too much promo and too much talk, but he's getting what he deserves. We heard about what happened. He had the situation outside the courthouse. He discharged his weapon, shot a black man who just happened to be a veteran suffering from PTSD. A lot of people were saying that because you're suffering from PTSD, you shouldn't attack anybody. Look, man, you don't know the effect of PTSD. What can trigger you? What can set you off? Like I said, this man is all over social media. His face is plastered everywhere. You can't go through your phone on Instagram, on TikTok, on Snapchat, on anything without seeing this guy Chud the Builder, man. I feel like the algorithm is pushing it to enrage people, especially black folk, to get us to go, man, if I see that dude, it's going to be different. And a lot of black folks were looking to run into him out there in Tennessee. And this individual in front of a courthouse, it occurred. Weapon was discharged. I don't know the story. I wasn't there. I can't sit here and say that he instigated the entire thing. I can't sit there and say that the veteran chose to engage. I can't say that. I wasn't there. Some people are saying that Chud discharged the weapon and then shot himself to make it look like self-defense. The internet is buzzing, saying that he's looking at attempted murder, discharge of a weapon, all of these crazy things. Look, these are just all talks. These are all speculations. What would I be lying if I said that I hope this man goes to jail? No. He is trying to incite something that clearly America just doesn't need. We don't need a race war. We don't need black people just out there going against white folks and white folks attacking. Look, I joke around a lot, man, and I really just want to have a serious conversation. There are undoubtedly terrible, racist white people out there. Absolutely, without a question. There are prejudiced black people out there. Absolutely, without a question. But a lot of us get along with each other and we don't really give a fuck, and we cool and we just ride with each other because we don't worry about the skin color thing. We embrace our differences and we move forward with it, and that's cool. And Chud tried to take this man's life by instigating. My thing is, he's been saying this over and over on his platform that he wants to kill a black person. He wants to discharge his weapon and take a black man's life. If that isn't premeditation beyond a reasonable doubt, I don't know what it is. I fear that he goes to court for this and the charges are diminished and he just gets away with trying to take this man's life. And what happens is he gets what he wants, or they, whoever they are, they get what they want by pushing this propaganda and pushing this belief that black people should be at war with white people, and whatever case you may have, which is a scary thing. But at the end of the day, Chud is learning one simple thing: actions have consequences, and the consequences are very real. I'm sure while he was being arrested and told what he was being charged for, he had to post bond, and he's about to lose custody of his kid, because the mother feels it's not safe for the child to be anywhere near him with the chaos that he's bringing, which is absolutely true. This guy is becoming public enemy right now, right? People are despising him, and I've said it on social media platforms that I partake in. The scary thing is, I don't even believe it's going to be a black person that's going to hurt this dude bad. I truly believe it's going to be a white person who's tired of his shit, who's going to just be like, yo, you're making all of us look bad and we all not like this. I believe it's going to be a white person that's going to crash out on him the worst way. I'm not wishing for it, but I believe it's going to be a white person that's going to crash out on this dude and take his life, man. I it's just been seeing everything that's been going on. It's like this dude is just it's just bugging, you know what I mean? And the consequences that come from this, man, they're so real. And then people want to act shocked. Like, were we, like the black community, were you shocked when you heard that he shot somebody and he shot himself on some cheddar bob shit, and now he's being charged with attempted murder? No, I wasn't shocked. You shocked? I wasn't shocked. Were you shocked when you found out that he was a fairy? Were you shocked by that? No, I wasn't shocked by that either. Were you shocked when you found out that he was getting pegged viciously by by a black woman? Were you shocked? No, I wasn't. I wasn't shocked, like, at all. I wasn't shocked by that either. So let's just keep it a buck with ourselves as an audience, as people that consume this drama, that consume this madness. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Were you shocked? Are you shocked by how this show is going? I'm not shocked by how this show is going. The way the show is going, and this is a show. Let's be honest. This is a show. This is entertainment. This is a show, right? This is all a show. This is pure entertainment. And it's insane. It's just insane. I don't want to attack because I'm a part of the audience, right? So I gotta get myself into this because I'm a part of the audience, right? Just like you're a part of the audience for this show, I am a part of the audience that's partaking into the show that is this rage baiting and all of that, right? Because we play a role in it too. A lot of people are sitting there encouraging these creators to crash out in real time. Somewhere out there, there's got to be someone that knows this dude that's saying, that should be saying, bro, this ain't the way. This is not the way. This ain't the way to do it. You need to chill. You're putting your life in danger. You're putting your child's life in danger. You're putting your baby mom's life in danger. Your moms, your dads, your brothers, your sisters, your friends, whomever it is that surrounds you, you're putting all their lives in danger, because you got to remember there's a subculture of people who believe if you with them, you can get it too. Right? You know that guilty by association. You hang out with somebody, and he's a gang member, you automatically a gang member. So if this dude is running around rage baiting, saying racial shit, you like that too. That's how they're gonna look at it, and that's scary. I'm just saying, you're spamming for donations, instigating conflict, you're clipping the worst moments, and you're posting it everywhere, laughing, all while somebody is slowly self-destructing. And then the second the real consequences happen, Everybody has morals now. Everybody wants to condemn what happened. Nah. You can't want to see the chaos. You can't feed the fire. And then when the fire gets out of control and destroys everything, you go, I don't understand why that happened. I don't understand how that could have happened. I didn't want that to happen. That wasn't my intention. I didn't want the fire to just rage and burn and destroy everything. I just wanted it to burn this one local area. You can't control fire. As much as you would try, it still want to get out of hand. And this is what's going on right now. He's being fed more fuel, and he's consistently moving about, getting away with it. And part of this is the thing I want to say. I believe that this is a social experiment. I believe it's an experiment for the racist elites to see how far they can go, how much they can say, how much they can do without any consequences. And Chud is the test of it. We're all the test subjects. They're trying to see how far they can go with black people. Because think about it, they're already taking away our voting rights. They're redrawing maps in the same tone. They're going to make it mandatory for young black men to join the military. Everyone is going to have to join the military, 18 to 25, 18 to 26, the mandatory draft. But let's be real, right? We fought in every conceivable war. They've used us to fight in every conceivable war. This country is going to be 250 years old. Over 200 years, this country has been in war. And in every war, black and brown people have been a part of their wars and fought for them and helped them. Let's keep it a buck. And we're treated like shit coming back. You're looking at Tuskegee. You're looking at all of these things. You're looking at what's been done to Seneca Village, what's been done to Black Wall Street and all these other places. Let's not be disillusioned. They want to see how far they can go in 2026 with their racism. And they're showing it. They're showing exactly how far they're going. And they're testing the waters. You got a man walking around saying nigga this, nigga that, chimping out, which is hilarious to me because you shave a monkey, what color's a monkey skin? So y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like, Chud, you the monkey. Like, we ain't the monkeys, you the monkey, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. I want you to understand it's a test. A dude in the 90s Brooklyn, 1995, 1996, a white dude couldn't walk around and call another black man nigga without getting his shit broke. Instantaneously. Like, it wouldn't even be a question. And I know some people going back, well, you call each other nigga. Listen, it's the intent behind the word. It's the intent behind the word. Remember that. It's the intent. Dudes out in Newark, New Jersey, they call him like, yo, a bitch is hungry as hell. He's not saying he's a bitch in a disrespectful way. He's just saying as a referral. He's referring like, yo, a bitch is hungry. Like, that's it. Motherfucker. I mean, the adjective, the adverb, the pronoun, all that. A motherfucker. A motherfucker feel like this motherfucker you couldn't walk around Brooklyn, New York as a white man and call a black man nigga with the hard ER on it, with the intent of calling him nigga to refer to the slave, to the antebellum slavery days, and think you wasn't going to get your shit broke. But now in 2026, freedom of speech all over again. Yo, you can't step on my freedom of speech, my right to freedom of speech. I'm going to say what I want. Okay, you got that. But there's consequences behind that. A lot of people I've seen on social media like, yo, where the YNs at? Y'all crashing out on each other, but y'all won't crash out on this dude because you understand this is what they want. They want to see that. Should you give it to them is the question. I don't know. But you gotta remember, the internet rewards that type of behavior, that bad behavior, that negative content bringing behavior way before they punish it. Way before. It will not be punished. It will be rewarded. It will be lauded. And social media companies, they know it too. You can become famous from being an asshole. You can become famous from being a jackass. You can become famous from being a racist. Because, let's keep it a buck. Anger drives engagement. Conflict drives engagement. The more emotional people become, the longer they stay online. The more angry you are, the more hurt you are, the more emotionally roused to do something to that person, you staying. Keep it like, let's be real with each other, right? Let's talk about the racial side of it, because every controversy online immediately turns into racial war now, right? It's always about race. Nobody even talks no more. Nobody sits down and talks. Nobody says, let's have this conversation. Everybody instantaneously picks a side. Either you're backing Chud or you're against him. It's just an automatic thing, and depending on who's involved, people react completely different. Because if it's a person you like, you're good. They get a pass, or if it's a person famous, it's, well, it was an accident. They didn't mean it. They'll do better the next time, and they do a public thing and they apologize. Case in point, you remember the Justin Bieber thing years ago, a long time ago, right? He got forgiven for that. It's okay. It's all right. Then we fast forward. We look at what's the dude? Dude from Seinfeld that played Kramer, canceled. Then you look at the young lady from Texas, the police officer. She lost her job. She went online and she was apologizing and, I was just a moment. She's done. No one cares about that. We don't care. It is what it is, right? But you got to remember, some people are doing it for clicks. Some people are being racist for clicks. Some people are genuinely showing who they really are. The mask comes off. And now you can't unsee these people for who they are. They don't like us. Excuse me. They definitely don't like us. They hate us. You know what I mean? Some people consume the black chaos and the entertainment, all while pretending to even care about the issue. Some people love to see it and act as if they're shocked or hurt by it, but they're really not. And those are people you got to watch out for, right? These are the people that sit there and be like, yo, that's crazy. I can't believe in it. And they'll sit there with you and pretend to be angry, but they really love the chaos that's brewing. Some people care about winning the racial argument online. Some people to jump on and I've seen that. I've encountered people like that. They'll say, you guys got to let slavery go. You keep bringing that up. Jewish people keep bringing up the Holocaust. You don't tell them to let it go. You don't tell them to let it go at all. Their entire argument is built around the Holocaust, and they still use that. But you don't tell them to let it go, but you tell us to let slavery go. Every chance you get. Let slavery go. It happened 400 years ago, 400 plus years ago. I don't know why you guys bringing it up. I didn't do it. I didn't have slaves. I didn't keep you as a slave. But you want us to forget. Make it make sense. We supposed to let it go. When it's in our face every day, when you're still trying to go right back to antebellum slavery now. But we're supposed to let it go. Anyways. But, social media, it's amplifying it. The outrage spreads faster than understanding. It's, like I said, it's a fire. It's, you push the rage, you push the angry, and it's going to go. Everybody's divided. Everybody's angry. Everybody's performing. Because, like I said, it's a performance. It's a show. That's what it's for. Nobody's listening. I think about it. Nobody's really sitting down listening. So I think a lot of people are losing themselves for trying to survive online. That's not a real world. The real world is outside. It's not the cameras. It's not the glitz. It's not the glam. It's not this. This ain't real. Right? I could be AI. I don't know. You never know. And that's another thing you got to remember. Right? This is a crazy world, man. But what happens when your audience only rewards the most extreme version of you? What happens when the character you created for views slowly becomes your personality? What happens when you sink into the character so much? The character that you're pretending to be becomes your identity. What happens then? What happens when you're just a regular guy or girl and you're just, you come up with this idea to create a social media persona, and this persona might be disrespectful, might be sexually active, might be super violent, might be whatever the character may be, super animated. What happens when that's not who you are in real life? But because you've been putting on a show, putting on an appearance for so long, the lines are blurred and you become that character. Think about it. Remember, like some people, I remember growing up and my mom used to watch Young and the Restless and General Hospital. I remember Victor Newman, bro. I swear to God, I think that dude is a vampire because he looks the exact same. All right. I'm in my 40s now. This guy still looks the same from when I was 6, 7 years old. It's creepy. But what I'm saying is, I remember my mom at a point used to really think this guy was who he was. She really believed in the character. And I don't think she understood at a point, at some place in her life, that this is that character that's being played. Remember with Tariq, with Power, some people was really like, yo, you bitch ass nigga, you killed your pops. And believed the character so much. They thought he was really Tariq in real life. Like, bro, he's an actor. Or some people can argue that, and this is not taking shots, I'm just giving examples. Or some people can argue that Pac played Bishop so well that he got sucked into being the character that he had to become Bishop in real life. I don't know. But what happens when that happens? Well, what do you do when you're sitting there watching in real time, watching somebody slowly disseminate into the character that they created, slowly become the thing that was pretend? The thing that was fake, that was pretend, is now real. That's scary. And don't get me wrong, this is just me having a conversation with y'all. Maybe Chud the Builder isn't the disease. Maybe he's the symptom. Because the truth is, the internet created a marketplace where outrage sells faster than humanity. And eventually, somebody is always going to take it too far. It's inevitable. Not everything should be content. And not everybody survives becoming entertainment. Not everybody, right? Let's be real. Not everybody survives being entertainment. Not everybody. Some people can turn this camera on, be the character, entertain you, turn the camera off, and go about their regular lives. Go hug their kids, go kiss their wives, go kiss their husbands, go play with their dogs, their gerbils, their cats, their goldfish, their whatever. They can go right back, do whatever it is they want to do. No problems. Some people can do that. Some people understand that when the camera turns on, the character comes on. When the camera cuts off, I am who I am. The character stays with the camera. The character stays with the camera. Some people are incapable of discerning that reality. So now we're in a place where I give you this persona, and in public, someone sees you and they want you to match that same energy with the same persona. So if you're coming off as a super racist, stand on that business, because somebody want to see if you really like. I'm not saying that's what occurred in this situation. I'm just simply saying someone wants to see. Because now this is all you've been selling on social media is, I'm a racist. Cool. Stand on it. Stand on it. And don't pick and choose who you go after. Do it to everybody. Be that way with if you're a racist, be that way all across the board. From the biggest guy to the smallest guy, be that way. Man, woman, children. Because if you were super racist, you were racist. You gotta hold it down. Don't pick and choose. Don't go out there with your mace and your weapon and your camera and antagonize people just so you can get a reaction from them, because there's that one person who had a shitty day, who just lost everything today, and you was the person that they needed to let that heat out. There's somebody that doesn't give a fuck. Somebody out there doesn't give a fuck about their life. Why would they give a fuck about yours? They were itching to lose their life or throw their life away, and you came around with your racism and your bigotry and your ignorance, and he or she said, today is the day I murder a motherfucker. Today's the day I take this man or this woman's life because they don't respect me and I don't give a fuck about my life. But if you're not that type of person, if you're not about that life, this social media shit ain't it. The entertainment, it ain't that important, bro. It should never be that important. If this is just a character that you're portraying, you should probably pack that character up. That character is not worth you losing your life. It's not worth the people around you losing their life, their freedom, their peace, their sanity. It's not worth it. When the camera cuts on, I am Carter Young. I am Trinidad and Tobago's son, New York City's nephew. I am that entertainer. I am the artist. I give you music. I give you social media content. That's what you get from Carter Young. You get my opinions. When the camera cuts off, Carter Young stays with the camera. So when the camera cuts off, the camera's off, Carter Young persona is off. When I'm with my family and I'm with my friends, that's who I am. I am who I am. But you see, there's no grand gestures with Carter Young, right? There's nothing too crazy. I'm not running around, yo, I bust my gun, da-da-da-da. I am who I am. I'm me. I'm me. So when the camera cuts off, I'm still me. It doesn't really change. But if you're playing a game where you're promoting being a monster or being this super arrogant person, you got to be super, and you want to keep that arrogance on even after the camera's cut off, or you want to be the super racist, and then when the camera's cut off, you still want to be super racist. Remember, you got to go out in the public. Social media pushes that. You got to go out in the public, and people have to see you. So now you got to keep up that persona, right? And you want to say, it's only entertainment. It's just jokes. I ain't see you on no stage. I ain't see you on the stage. I ain't see you on the flyer doing any shows. You're just on camera running your mouth in different areas, antagonizing black folk. That's entertainment? That's how we do entertainment now? Look, I really just wanted to sit down and have this conversation today because it needed to be had. I say to my black people, man, do not engage in stupidity. It's what they want. They want to see you crash out. They want to see you do dumb shit. You see people like that, you go the other way. I know it's not an easy thing to do. Someone walking behind you or saying, hey, nigger, pick up my hat, nigger. I know it's not an easy thing. I'm not going to sit here and say it's an easy thing to do. But what's the alternative? The system is already rigged against us from day one. So that ain't going to work. We're always the villain. Most races are intimidated by just our presence. We just breathe when people are bothered by us. Black people will be minding their fucking business, chilling, and a motherfucker will call the cops on us. We are automatically the enemy. The narrative has already been spun that we're the villains, we're the bad guys, we're the problem. Just walk away. Start putting your money into our own people, into our communities. You see somebody like that, dude, because there's going to be more chuds running around. There's going to be more people like him. Because like I said, I believe it's an experiment. They want to see what they can do and what they can get away with. Turn the cameras off. Turn the cameras off and deal with these things accordingly. But when that camera's on, you know what it's for. It's to spread propaganda. It's to push a narrative. Walk away. Don't spend money in places that don't welcome you. Don't spend money in places that do not respect you. We are the largest consumers in this country. We can make or break this economy. Let's keep it a buck. All right, black people, brown people, we can make or break this economy. They need us. We don't need them. They need us. Think about it. They use us to sell their products, and we buy their products. They use us to promote their products, and we're the largest consumers of their products. Start supporting each other. Start bigging up your own people. Start running with the people that want to see you succeed and not see you fail. Start running with the people that aren't spreading propaganda, that aren't spreading, lies and just evil, vile shit. Run with the people that want to see you grow. There's going to be another Chud the Builder. I hope he goes to jail and he gets exactly what he deserves. I hope he loses custody of his child. I hope his family separates themselves from him and don't want to be anywhere near him. I hope that they're not racist like him. I hope they're not just pretending. That's what I hope. I hope that he sits in the jail cell, sits in prison. I hope he goes to prison. I hope he's found guilty for attempted murder, for aggravated assault, for whatever it is they can get him for. And he sits down for a little bit. Don't put him in PC. Put him in Gen Pop. And be that racist in prison. Hold it down. Live up to what you're pushing. And get your ass fucked up. That's what I hope. But would it happen? No, probably not. He'll probably get away with it, and people to get pissed off, and they want to see us fucking riot and burn shit and act up. That's what they want to see. I hope wherever that asshole George Zimmerman is, I hope he's suffering. I hope his life is hard. I hope he's unhappy, for real. I hope. But like I said, not everybody survives becoming entertainment. They just don't. So on that note, grab your shot glass, because we got to do our thing, right? Grab your shot glass. It's real simple. Don't lose your humanity trying to entertain strangers. Probably never see these people. Salute. I appreciate y'all having this conversation with just me today. I appreciate y'all. Emma couldn't make it, so I wanted to have this conversation. So I just want to say I appreciate you guys. Remember, don't let this social media shit cloud you, man. I'm Trinidad and Tobago's son, New York City's nephew, Carter, Y-O-U-N-G. Appreciate y'all for stepping out for a little bit. This is Banter'N'Bullsh. See y'all, man. Tap in, make sure you like, you share, you subscribe. Also understand, if you go on any of the social media platforms, you go to iTunes and all of that, check out my music. You know the name, Carter Young. Check it out. Single Motion is out. That's Motion, M-O-T-I-O-N. Go fish. All right. Another Way for Us out. That is another record by Carter Young. The album is coming soon. What's the name of the album, you ask? Who is Carter Young? It's only entertainment, people. I'm going to see y'all.